I'm joined by Capitol Field reporter Bradley Jaye. Brad, thank you for joining me.
It's great to be with you.
So you've been covering the Trump lawfare extensively. Give us your take on what's going on right now in that era.
It's remarkable the degree to which the Democrats have overplayed their hand. So much centered around a press conference that Joe Biden gave the day after midterms in 2022. He came out and said, basically, we're going to do whatever we can to block Trump using whatever constitutional means it takes. From that point, all these different wheels started turning all over the country. On November 18th, just a few days later, three huge things happened. You had Jack Smith get appointed as special counsel by Merrick Garland. You had Nathan Wade, who was with the Fulton County prosecution working for Fani Willis. He had an 8-hour meeting that day at the White House with the White House counsel's office. And you had Matthew Colangelo, who was the number 3 person at the Department of Justice, at Biden's Department of Justice, quietly resign to go work for Alvin Bragg in Manhattan. That's a remarkable development to take such a lower profile, lower paying position, but he did it to get Trump. That led to 4 of the criminal cases against Trump. On top of that, you have everything with the 14th Amendment, with them trying to invalidate Trump from even appearing on the ballot.
Right.
And it really, what they're doing, they validated everything that Trump has been saying all the time, that the government is weaponized against him, that this is lawfare. The degree to which, this all happened at once. And so many of the American people, independents, maybe some folks who weren't sure how they felt about Donald Trump, they're really starting to rally around him. Certainly the people who have always been with Trump. You know what happened with all the fundraising numbers that Trump put up right after the conviction in Manhattan. It really does seem like people are seeing how ridiculous a lot of this lawfare is, how weaponized it is, and I think that Trump has actually emerged even stronger because of it.
I agree, and every time they do any of these things to him, he gets more popular. So I sort of wonder, are they just trying anything they can, or are they incompetent? Do they really believe that these things are eventually going to work and make him less popular? What do you think about that?
It's a little bit of both.
I guess, right?
Certainly, I think there's a problem inside the Beltway. There's a problem inside the Beltway in Washington, D.C. These people think so little of the American people. These campaign consultants, these political movers and shakers, they think that the American people are stupid. American people aren't stupid. The American people are busy. Politics is not the industry that they work in. They're teachers or doctors or plumbers. So they tune in and they follow things. But political people in Washington look down upon the American people because, frankly, they think a lot of themselves because they're in politics. But they have overplayed their hands, and I think it's that perception issue, the fact that these political folks do look down on the American people, but the American people, they can clearly see what's going on. It's so obvious. The degree, this eruption of lawfare that came out clearly targeting Trump. You'd have to be a fool not to see what's going on.
Well, it's funny to make a 77, 78 years old today, actually, happy birthday, President Trump, year-old man who's never had any criminal record, any problems, and now you're trying to convince an entire nation of people that turned out in record numbers to elect him that he's a convicted felon and this big problem. So with that, I would assume it's a major net positive for him, but what are you seeing out there in the field? Do you think that most people are coming more to support Trump, even in some of these blue areas?
It appears so. Three big things. Number one, the fundraising. Obviously, that's a major show of strength for the president. 33%, about a third of the folks who have donated to him in the aftermath of that conviction are new, have never
and that's
donated.
Massive. That's a big number right there. 33%. That's huge.
That's incredible. That's very rare in fundraising.
Right.
Secondly, you look at convicted felon. The Democrats, their media allies, they're all one and the same.
Right.
They immediately started every headline, convicted felon, Donald Trump, convicted felon. Polling shows that has not been effective. It's fallen flat.
Right.
And so you've got all that going on, and finally you've got the polling. There are those 7 big swing states. We're in one of them right now here in Michigan.
Right.
The polling shows in those states that he has either stayed the same or gained
Right.
in each of those 7 states. I mean, come on, is this the best they got? They've thrown everything they can at Donald Trump, and he's the Teflon Don. He's emerged even stronger.
And that makes people somewhat nervous about the next 5 months, I should say, because if it's so obvious that everything they're doing is not working, they're going to get more desperate. So what do you foresee occurring, how chaotic do you think these next couple months will be in the lead up to the election?
We truly don't know
Right.
what might be coming down the pike. You said it well. They're going to get increasingly desperate. I mean, some of the thoughts of what they might try are really
Yeah,
horrifying.
shouldn't say it here. No, I'm kidding.
Right. But no, it's especially if you look at how President Biden has been struggling. If you saw him at
What do you mean? He's been struggling?
I'm breaking that here for the first time.
big-
If you
big
see
news.
him at the G7, just wandering around, doesn't know where he is. The look on the faces of other world leaders. Democrats are going to get increasingly desperate, and we truly don't know what they might do. So, folks, if you want to vote for Trump, make sure that you do it as early as possible,
Yeah.
and go ahead and bank it. We really don't know what's going to happen at the Democrat National Convention.
Well,
That
so
might
let's-
be the watershed moment.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, because so much of the focus is on President Trump, rightfully so. He has incredible support, historic support. But obviously there's the issue of Joe Biden. He's never been a popular candidate. When he ran in 1988, he was unpopular. When he ran in 2008, he was unpopular. And even in 2020, he was unpopular. So think of the convention. Do you think he makes it? Do you think he ends up being the nominee? Because a lot of people, even though he's been given the nomination, people sort of view that date that you just said as sort of the real moment where you'll know if he's actually going to be running. So what do you think?
I don't think there's any question that he will not walk away willingly.
Right.
You talk about who's actually driving the truck there. Is it Dr. Jill? We really don't know, but I don't think that it's difficult to imagine a scenario by which the two of them would say, Joe,
Right.
time to hang it up, unless there was, God forbid, a
Sure.
serious health
But it seems like
issue.
Jill is really in it till the finish at this point, because things are not looking so good, and she's there every day, right?
Gosh, things are so bad at the White House that even the dogs are going crazy there.
It's true. It's true.
But we've never seen a president who is this unpopular. We've never, even Woodrow Wilson's final years after
Right.
he had some health problems, I don't think we've ever had a president who's been so out of it.
Right.
Democrats are going to get increasingly desperate, and that is increasingly scary because we don't know what they'll do.
It is scary, but we'll have to wait and see. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great being with you.
Thank you.